Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a huge decision that pretty much every business with a website or an app has to make: React or Next.js. We're going to break down this choice because it's a big one.
So, React or Next.js, which one is right for your business? Now, you might think this is just some tech debate for your engineers, but no way. This is a strategic call. It's going to affect how fast you can launch, where you show up on Google, and yeah, how much you're going to spend down the line. So, let's get you what you need to make the smart choice.
All right, first things first, we got to understand the foundation that both of these are built on, and that's React.
So what is React? Well, it's an open-source JavaScript library, and its whole job is to build user interfaces, the view layer of an app. The best way to think about it is like this. React is the super powerful engine for your car. It's amazing at what it does, making the car go, but it's just the engine. It's not the whole car.
And that brings us to the core difference right here. With React, you get the engine, right? And that gives you total freedom, maximum flexibility to build whatever kind of custom car you want around it. You pick the chassis, the wheels, the transmission, everything. But Next.js is the full vehicle. It's already built, it has a solid structure, and it comes with all the stuff you need right out of the box.
Okay, so what makes React's engine so powerful? It's this one key feature. It's component-based architecture. What does that mean? Well, think of it like building with Legos. Instead of building a whole website as one giant piece, you build tiny, reusable little bricks, a button here, a search bar there, and then you snap them together to build your entire user interface.
So why do these little Lego bricks matter for your business? Well, a few huge reasons. First, consistency. You use the same button brick everywhere, so your user experience is always the same. Second, it's all about scalability. As your app gets bigger, your teams can build way faster because they're not reinventing the wheel every time. And maybe most importantly, maintenance becomes so much easier. If one little brick is broken, you just fix that one brick. You don't have to tear down the whole castle. That saves you a ton of time and money.
But, and this is a big but, all that freedom with React has a catch. It comes at a price. Since you're only getting the engine, your team is on the hook for building the rest of the car. That means figuring out stuff like SEO, which is a huge challenge. It means manually optimizing for performance. The final quality of your app really depends on how good your team is at building and maintaining all that stuff around the core React engine.
Okay, so that brings us to the other side of the coin, Next.js. Let's see how this framework takes that amazing React engine and solves all those problems we just talked about right from the get-go.
Yep, if React is the engine, then Next.js is the whole car. It's a full-stack framework built on top of React. It takes that awesome component-based UI engine and puts it inside a high-performance chassis with everything else you need. It adds structure, smart ways to render pages, and tons of performance optimizations. It's basically ready to drive off the lot.
And look at all the key features it comes with, built right in. You get server-side rendering and static site generation. We'll talk more about those in a sec. You get a super simple file-based way to create new pages. You can even build your own APIs right inside the same project. Oh, and it'll even optimize your images for you automatically. All that stuff you'd have to build yourself with React, it's just there.
All right, let's zoom in on a couple of those features, because honestly, these are the real game changers for most businesses. I'm talking about SSR, or server-side rendering, and SSG, static site generation.
So why do these matter so much? It's simple. They give you amazing SEO. Because the pages are built on the server before they get to the user, search engines like Google see a complete, fully rendered page. That's a massive boost for your rankings. It also means way faster load times for your users, because they see content immediately. And that's not all. You can often host these sites for cheaper too, since they're just simple files. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. All this power in Next.js does come with a few potential drawbacks. First, it's just more complex. There are more moving parts, more concepts for your team to learn. For really big apps, the time it takes to build and deploy your site can get a little slow. And sometimes, let's be honest, it can just be overkill. If you're just building a simple internal dashboard where SEO is a total non-issue, Next.js might be like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut.
All right, so now we get the gist of both. Let's do a little showdown. We're going to put them head-to-head and see how they really stack up on the things that actually matter to your business.
This chart pretty much says it all, doesn't it? When you look at performance, Next.js is optimized right away. With React, you got to set that up yourself. Same story for SEO. Next.js is friendly to search engines out of the box, but with React, you'll need extra tools. The setup? React gives you total control, but that means more work. Next.js is all about convention over configuration. It makes the decisions for you. And that's why their use cases are so different. React is perfect for internal tools and dashboards, while Next.js just shines for public websites and e-commerce stores.
Okay, so that's the comparison. Now for the verdict. How do you actually make the right choice for your project? Let's walk through it.
So you should choose plain old React if your app is going to live behind a login. Think admin dashboards, internal tools, that kind of thing. If SEO is not a concern, like at all, React is a great fit. It's also the right call if you've got a really strong senior engineering team that can handle building the architecture and you need that maximum flexibility to plug it into some existing complex system.
And you should choose Next.js if organic traffic from Google is absolutely critical for your business to grow. If you need a super fast website without a ton of custom setup, Next.js is your friend. It's also perfect if you just want a standard, proven way to handle all the basics like routing and rendering. Basically, if getting to market fast with a great public-facing site is your priority, Next.js is almost always the answer.
At the end of the day, it's not about being on Team React or Team Next.js. That's not the point. The real choice you're making is this. How much structure, how much SEO power, and how much out-of-the-box performance do you want baked into your project from day one? That's the question. So remember, your choice today really does define your product for tomorrow. Are you just building for the here and now, or are you building for what's next? As you're making this call, don't just think about launch day. Think about where you want this thing to be in 2 years. Because picking the right foundation today is what's going to let you grow and succeed tomorrow.